bar and order a beer, and if someone puts arsenic in it and I die, is that an overdose? I don't think so. Someone poisoned me, and, in my eyes, it's drug-induced homicide. I mean, they're being killed, they're being murdered, and that's what I think happened to my son.
Can I ask you, what do you think about the policies? A lot of this comes across the southern border. A lot of it's made in China. The cartels, as you were saying, April, are very involved in this business and getting it across the border. What do you think about all that?
Truthfully, my opinion is that, this should be the #1 health crisis right now. I mean, this is what's killing the most Americans and kids. I don't understand how there's not more being done. This isn't on billboards all over the country, that this isn't
why do you think
not
it is? Why?
I don't know. I mean, I would assume that it's the government, but I'm not gonna, I don't know.
What would you say to the president about this if you had his ear? What would you say?
Well, closing the border would be a good start, but an easy peasy thing is, how about a COVID-like response to fentanyl? We're almost 10 years deep into a fentanyl crisis, and we still have no public warning campaign coming from the White House down. It has to come from the White House down. A lot of people don't watch your news station. A lot of people won't listen to me. A lot of people love this president. They love this administration. They need to hear it from them. But within 3 months of COVID, every American knew social distance, wash your hands, wear a mask.
April, you founded Lost Voices of Fentanyl to get this story out there. Before we go, just any final thought on your mind as you talk about this?
Truthfully, I want the world to know who my son was. He was a good kid. He was kind. He was funny, and he was so loved. And he had so much life to live. And I think that if parents and teachers and coaches and people who are involved in youth don't see this, you have to speak up. You have to say something, because I really, truly wish that I had had more conversations with him about the dangers of drugs, not only fentanyl, because I didn't know a lot about it, but, now I literally will say the word to anyone that'll listen, because I don't ever want to see another family go through what we've been through. Like, it's ugly. It's so ugly.
Two very brave moms, and I thank them for joining me. You can listen to more of our conversation with April and Tanya on the Untold Story podcast, which is available today at foxnewspodcasts.com. We'll be right back.
Experience the sound of a 3-day party in a city built on live music. The 2022 Austin City Limits Music Festival. Live performances from the main stage and exclusive interviews backstage. It feels so good. Austin City Limits 2022, live from Silver Park, all weekend starting this afternoon on the Spectrum, Channel 28, and on the SXM app. Schedule at SiriusXM.com/ACL. You never knowingly feed your pup mystery meat or spoiled grocery store food, so why are those some of the most common protein sources in kibble today?
I'm veterinarian Dr. Marty Goldsky. Your dog needs Nature's Blend, a freeze-dried raw food, premium cuts of meat, omega-3 rich seeds, and superfood veggies and fruit.
For a limited time, save 54% off Nature's Blend and receive a free pack of premium dog treats. Go to drmartyvets.com/Fox or text FOX to 511-511. That's the rate line. You may receive an additional text opt out.
Holding off on purchasing new equipment? Trimming corners to maintain cash flow? Rethinking your expansion plans? If this sounds like your life as a business owner, your business could be missing out on doing more. With a financing solution from Capitus, you can break free from your indecisions and get back to making your business thrive. And with thousands of satisfied customers, working with Capitus means finding the right business financing for you. Head over to Capitus.com. That's KAPITUS.com.
When you're suffering from hemorrhoids, you'll do anything to make the pain go away. But you don't need everything. You just need Recticare Advance. With 2 powerful medicines, lidocaine to relieve pain fast and phenylephrine to reduce swelling. It's the strongest lidocaine hemorrhoid medication you can get without a prescription. See why Recticare Advance has thousands of 5-star reviews. Pull into a Walgreens, Walmart, Rite Aid, or CVS pharmacy now and look for the blue and white box where hemorrhoid treatments are sold. Get fast hemorrhoid relief with Recticare Advance.
Ladies, do you avoid intimacy intimacy because of dryness and pain? Now you don't have to. Introducing Reverie, the first non-hormonal FDA-cleared feminine dryness insert that uses hyaluronic acid, the wonder molecule that's famous for its amazing skin hydration properties. Reverie rejuvenates intimate skin beyond anything you can imagine, and it's easy to use. Best of all, it's safe with no risky hormones or dangerous side effects. Isn't it time to get back to feeling confident and comfortable with intimacy? Visit Reverie.com and we'll deliver discreetly to your door. Order now and you'll save 40% when you subscribe and get free shipping. Just use code RADIO40. That's Reverie.com, code RADIO40. REVAREE.com. Reverie.com. Reverie is a 510K FDA cleared medical device. See instructions for use and product package inserted on Reverie.com.
And now a small business setback is assessed by a beloved family pediatrician.
Oh, hey, Tiger. Big scary tree branch give your work truck a boo-boo? Yeah. Wow. See this thing on my phone here? It's the Progressive mobile app. Just push that little button there and report your claim. Attaboy.
When owning a small business gets painful, Progressive Commercial is here to make it all better. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
What's this? Candy drawer? Who wants a lollipop?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions. All claims not available in all states or situations.
Here is a savvy solution for that piece of property that you want to get rid of. Donate to Cars for Kids. Sean Hannity here. You know, with costs at an all-time high, you'll be very happy to hear that Cars for Kids Real Estate will take over all the taxes and the maintenance and insurance fees and provide a tax deduction for the full appraised value of your property. Now, time is running out to secure your 2022 tax deduction. Donate at carsforkidsrealestate.org. That's cars with a K.
A king of morning talk radio for nearly 4 decades has passed. Bernard McGurk died yesterday following a battle with prostate cancer. He was just a few weeks away from his 65th birthday. McGurk was on the New York radio scene, providing provoking conversation and making us laugh since 1986, entertaining millions of listeners across the country during his time with Imus in the Morning until that show ended in 2018. And he continued as co-host of the show Bernie and Sid on WABC Radio. Fox Business's Connell McShane worked with Bernie for nearly 8 years. He tells us, quote, Bernard has been taken far too soon. He was a funny and talented guy, but I'll always remember how helpful and welcoming he was when I started working on Imus this morning. And that was my experience with Bernie as well. He will be missed. WABC is planning a tribute show on Tuesday to honor the man that they call one of the most gifted radio personalities of all time. And we will miss Bernard McGurk. That is the story for this Thursday, October 6th. But as always, the story goes on. So we look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow at 3. Stay tuned, though. Your World with Neil starts now.
Well, everything is on the table, including Venezuela. That from the President of the United States as the White House scrambles to find oil to replace OPEC's production cut. Will you be paying for it at the pump? We are all over it. With Peter Ducey on what the White House is saying now, Hillary Vaughn on high gas prices Americans are facing now, and Democratic Congressman Raja Krishnapuram on how many in his party are going to be handling it now. Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto on a very, very busy news day on the oil front, the gas front, and then the sell-off on Wall Street because all are rapidly rising, and that isn't a fun to you. But how long does it last? We'll get to that. First to Peter at the White House with more. Peter.
Neil, good afternoon. Now some Biden officials who met with Saudi counterparts about energy last month are expressing some surprise, saying they did not see these production cuts coming.
You did not think there would be this big of a cut?
No, I did not. I did not walk away with that understanding. But that was 2 weeks ago.
That was 2 weeks ago, and the president seemed to confirm a Wall Street Journal report today that the U.S. may cut some sanctions on Venezuela's Maduro, a potential source of oil, if Maduro just irons out some political issues of his own, like talking to his own political rivals about a fair 2024 election in Venezuela. That is a big if, though, because we're told by the National Security Council here at the White House there are no plans to change our sanctions policy without constructive steps from the Maduro regime. Our sanctions policy on Venezuela remains unchanged. We will continue to implement and enforce our Venezuela sanctions. As we have previously made clear, we will review our sanctions policies in response to constructive steps by the Maduro regime to restore democracy in Venezuela and alleviate the suffering of the Venezuelan people. President Biden is suggesting that he's going to rethink his relationship now with the Saudis, although the president says he's got no second thoughts about visiting the kingdom in person.
No, the trip was not essentially for oil. The trip was about the Middle East, about Israel, and rationalization of positions. But it is a disappointment, and it says that there are problems.
And it's a very big day here at the White House. Within the last hour or so, we got word that President Biden is issuing a pardon via executive order and the powers of the presidency for everybody convicted of a simple marijuana offense. We are told that estimates out to about 6,500 people, but he's also asking governors to do the same with state-level offenses. It's a big one. Neil?
Does that mean that those serving some jail time now for such offenses would and should be let go? And does that mean that those who've been charged with such crimes would have them dropped?
Yes, as we understand it, he's got the Attorney General working on that because he can't just wave a magic wand and say 6,500 people are out. You have to have something with your name on it, and he is ordering the people that would write that order to do it. Neil?
All right, Peter, thank you very, very much. Peter Juicy on that. I want to go to Hillary Vaughn right now. The fallout from these higher gas prices that are resulting now that OPEC could be cutting off supply by about 2 million barrels a day. You try to make up for that somewhere. We're told that Venezuela is not one of the options being explored. Others are saying we're getting different vibes on that. But Hillary Vaughn on Capitol Hill, I'm wondering, Democrats must be getting concerned about this because gas prices have been declining and they've been rising.
Yeah, some Democrats are worried, Neil, that as gas prices go up, their chances of keeping the majorities in Congress are going down. But other Democrats do not think that gas prices are the only issue on voters' minds this midterm.
You know, I've seen it play out both ways. The president has made strides to help bring costs down, but also using the Defense Production Act to be able to help with inflation and to bring costs down. And we have a lot more work to do.
Some vulnerable Democrats fighting to keep their seats, like Senator Maggie Hassan from New Hampshire, says part of her pitch to voters is to keep doing what she has been doing.
How do you tell a voter who says the cost of living is too high, inflation is too high, I've seen my real wage power decline, that you can do something or have done something about it?
Well, first of all, I'll keep pushing for the suspension of a gas tax. I'll keep pushing to make sure we get funding to support people who are trying to afford their heating bills here in New Hampshire this year.
But Republicans are calling Democrats bluff, saying the high prices should be no surprise for Democrats that have prioritized climate and demonized fossil fuels.
And it's not even that they are worried about $4, $5 gallon of gas. Right. They want that to happen. Remember, Joe Biden wanted to eliminate fossil fuels during the campaign. They want you to pay that much for your traditional gasoline-powered car because they don't want you driving it.
And Neil, progressives are hoping that President Biden makes good on that promise to move away from fossil fuels. In fact, 6 progressive Democratic senators wrote a letter to the president yesterday asking for him to declare a climate emergency. Neil?
Hillary Vaughn, thank you for that. I want to go to Democratic Illinois Congressman Dr. Chris Morte, I should say, on this. Congressman, always good to have you. I did want to pick your brains, sir, on the gas prices now going back up.